All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new edition of the Chris Stevens Writes YouTube show. I mean, you already know who I am. If you hopefully you've subscribed to this channel already, but if you're new, I'm Chris Stevens. I'm a writer that talks about a different bunch of things. You can tap the notification bell, subscribe to the hit the subscribe button so you can be notified of all new content that drops on this channel. And as you can see, I have a special guest today. This is one of my favorite mutuals on social media. We're going to be talking WNBA today. And when I reached out to her, I was happy she was excited to do it because I'm always nervous about reaching out to people about coming on the YouTube channel, man. I don't want people to feel like they're being ambushed. I don't want to be like, Budden or any of them crazy ass dudes or whatever. But she's cool. She's repping Oakland, so it's going to be town biz on this particular episode. So I want to welcome Mica to the Chris Stevens Writes YouTube channel. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor that you even asked me to be on this show. So I'm super excited.
All right, so and we're not going to waste too much of anybody's time here. Once again, we're going to recap the first half of the WNBA season, and it's been an interesting first half, hasn't it? We've had different
super interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, yeah, it's been super interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's just been kind of like one of those crazy things. It's been ongoing ever since Caitlin Clark was picked number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever, and right. It's been a while. But we'll get to the off the court stuff in a minute. But first, let's talk about the first half. I don't think any of us had Vegas. Because we're both ardent Las Vegas Aces followers. I don't think we had them struggling as much, even though the surprise retirement of Candace Parker and Chelsea Gray being on the shelf for like the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season didn't help. But as of right now, this team is 16-8. They're in the 5th seed, but they're still probably the most dangerous 5th seed. Like, what do you make of the Aces, to this point so far?
I just that we probably of one Chelsea being out, right? So Jackie and KP being in a point guard position is like not foreign to them, but it's not natural to them. So literally they were a little bit outside of their realm, and then all the pieces trying to figure out how to play around that, right? And then you also have new people on the team that you're trying to figure out a rotation to put in. So I think of that, that is where the Aces have been. I think they're struggling defensively. They're where they haven't in the past 2 seasons, where they are losing defensive assignments. I really think mostly on their guards for the most part. To me, where I see it is that their guards are getting beat, and then they're not rebounding enough. They're just leaving rebounding to Asia, which Asia's lights out. Like, I didn't even think she could take this step, but I think that's their 2 things. If they fix their defense and they rebound, they wouldn't have a lot of the issues that they have. Those are 2 things that I see. That is like why they have those 8 losses. Because literally you can't make up if you not getting enough offensive rebounds, your guards getting beat or dying on the screen, and you can't make that up a lot of times.
No, you can't. And it was interesting because the last game they played, of course, was against the Chicago Sky. That there was a lot of hilarity going on outside of the actual game. But KP got fried by Kennedy Carter. And I think Kennedy Carter is probably the best story, non-Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Angel Reese division.
Should be an all-star. Should be an all-star alert.
See, this is why I love having people on who know this, because it's like who know the game. Because if I come on here and say that Kelsey Mitchell should be an all-star, people are going to look at me like I'm crazy. But we watched Hollywood, as she's known, just totally take flight under Teresa Weatherspoon, which we'll get to the Sky in a second. But I did want to talk about the 2 teams at the top, and we already know that there was a big trade that went down the other day between with one of those 2 teams. Obviously, New York Liberty right now, number 1 overall in the league. Connecticut's number 2. They just lost to New York. And I don't know if you would call this a panic move or not, but I thought it was kind of weird that they just randomly said, okay, we're going to go get Marina Mabry. And they didn't lose much. They gave up. Rachel Banham, when she's on, is, of course, she can shoot, but Mariah Jefferson hasn't played much this year. They gave up a 2025 first rounders. That's going to be obviously back towards the latter part of the first round. But what do you think about the Sun making that move in what seems like, sort of like a desperation move type of situation?
I don't even think that is desperate. I think that is honestly a win-win because at the same time, even though Marina, she ain't the best defender, Lord knows, she doesn't really need to be on Connecticut Sun because 1 through 4 over there can absolutely defend. So she just needs to be capable. Where she makes up for them is that she's going to score. All she is on scoring, which is what Marina wants to do anyways. She just wants to put the ball in the basket and take over. And they need consistent scoring. Right now, to me, they trying to heavily depend on DB of trying to score or trying to pass it around. Bree is trying to still get her feel back to the game, but that's not going to make up enough points. You know, not in this stage of the WNBA. You know, you got to score in beating somebody now where you see that they're struggling to consistently 85 the point. I think that is where the issue because these those 5 teams so Marina going to right because she's only focused on she's gonna give you a consistent 20 to 25.
Yeah.
She might bump it up. That puts less pressure on DB, so DB can do her thing, right? We know the type of season Dejanay is having. She's shooting even better from the 3-point line. AT can just do her thing with passing, which is her strong suit. She want to rebound and pass and defend anyways. She's not looking to score. So literally it kind of sets up everybody where they're doing. And like I said, I love it for Chicago too, because they get a lot of their draft capital back that we know that dissipated with Marina Mabry trade with Dallas. So they get some of that capital back. They still get Bantam. We know that Chicago Scott playing with house money anyway, because nobody expecting him to be here anyway. So I kind of like this trade for both. Now, I'm not sure if Marina takes the Sun over the top for me, but we'll see, right? In the second half, how that goes.
And so we're talking about the team that Connecticut is chasing right now. Of course, that's the New York Liberty. And it seems to me that this team, if I don't want to put a time limit on anybody because we know the WNBA. I mean, from year to year it's different, but it feels like this team's window is not going to be as wide as it is now. And I still think that comment that Kelsey Plum made about them not being as close is still kind of, messing with them a little bit. So
I think so a little bit.
What was I? Oh yeah. I was gonna say, so this team is in first place right now. It seems like, and they've won the last couple games without Stewie and Benijah Laney, which I was shocked, honestly. So my thing is, what are you looking? What do you think is going to take for this Liberty team to get over the hump?
JJ being locked in every single game.
Okay.
Like, she chooses when she wants to play. Like, there's no way that she should be coming into games like against the Minnesota Lynx and she's scoring 4 points. Like, you're a former MVP. And it's not anybody else taking her out the game. Literally the scouting report is get her frustrated to the point and she gonna stop playing. That should never be your scouting report. It should be,
or she's gonna beat the mess out of somebody.
A jump shot. Or don't let her be in the post. Your scouting report is get her frustrated to the point where she'll take herself totally mentally out the game. When JJ is locked in, Liberty is gonna go as what she goes because it takes pressure off of Stewie. But Nazalena gonna do her thing. She gonna defend and she gonna shoot that shot, which she's shooting. She just needs to get healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina has actually improved. She's created a floater now, right? JJ needs to consistently be locked in and playing the game because when she's locked in, the Liberty plays smoother. The bench players can come in, Kayla and Ken, I think it's Burke. I know that's her last name. Mm-hmm. They come in and just do their thing, right? Because JJ, they know that when JJ's locked in, that's 25. That's 25 and 10.
Right.
So it's not, everybody else is not overcompensating in a way. But if her body language is off and she's not locked in, you can literally see that spread across the team when they play. Like you literally can see the team just start overcompensating. Okay, it's like almost like they know that, okay, JJ not locked in, y'all. So you're gonna have to give a little bit more over here. You're gonna have to give a little bit more over here. Like it just literally like it messes with their chemistry. But when she's locked in, you see that ball popping, it's moving, it's going to the post, it's going to the three, it's everybody having fun. We know we all love Ellie. Ellie probably somewhere on the sideline, sliding down a pole, dancing and everything else. So literally they're cohesive. They're playing as a team. I just really think that the Liberty, if they're going to do it, if they are literally going to win the chip, JJ has to be locked in every day, every night, every game. And if she's not, that window it is small, because you think about their other players are older a little bit here. Sloot on one foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sloot on one foot. Sloot about to retire. Go sit on the beach with Allie and just chill. You know what I mean? So you only got this year and probably next year, maybe next year. You know what I mean? But JJ is the key to the Liberty really going over the hump and her consistency in that. Because many times you watch the Liberty team, she takes herself out of the game, which takes the entire team out of the entire thing. And I believe that why you see those wins without Stewie and Benija, because now who only getting the ball to score? Sabrina's going to have it in her hand. She either passing it to JJ and JJ passing it back to her. There is no other person. So she is the sole focus. She is the number one option. It may be a little bit of, I'm not saying it is or not, but it may be a little bit of jealousy there that Stewie is like the number one option. And she's like, I'm a former MVP too. And that kind of also is probably frustrating for her as well. But either way, Liberty goes as Jay goes and her being locked in.
And we got two more teams in the top 5 that we need to discuss. And I want to start with the Lynx, because I'm going to be straight up with you. I had no idea what Cheryl Reeve was doing with this team the last couple of years, but here they are. They're not that far behind Connecticut and New York. And they, in the last couple of games, they've been without Nafisa Collier. Hopefully Fee is healthy by the time we come back from the Olympic break. But we've seen improvements from Dorka Uhas. I mean, Alana Smith and Bridget Carlton are knocking down 3-pointers. Courtney Williams is always going to be Courtney Williams. I thought that was a great pickup for them. So what do you make of the Lynx so far this season?
You know what? I'm pleasantly surprised. I do hope Fee is doing well, because I'll be honest with you, she is having an MVP season. But she might not get there, but still. But I really do hope that she's healthy, because when they're all there, I mean, it's pleasantly surprised. Courtney Williams was a great addition, because I think they just need somebody who is a dog on that team. Right. Like, I'm willing to get it. However, Kayla McBride is shooting the lights out. I mean, scoring each and every way. They're rookies, everybody. Like, I didn't even know Carlton came out of nowhere. Like, it's just like their whole team. Also, part of me feels like they remind me of the Atlanta Hawks team that had like Kyle Korver, Al Horford back in the day, and they went like 60 wins in a way. Like, yeah, they're doing well in the regular season. Is this going to translate to the playoffs? Right?
Good question.
When the playoffs is, you locked in. I got all the scouting reports I need. Are you making the adjustments here from, game to game, right? I just wonder about that, because playoffs is tough. And teams that's coming into the playoffs is going to work you every single day and every night. So that's why I'm not sure if it would translate to the playoffs. That's what I'm really wanted to see. I love the regular season that they're having, right? And hopefully, and if, they're still clicking and popping, but is that going to translate when the playoffs start?
Yeah, that's going to be the key. And of course, number 4 right now, Storm, they made a lot of all-season moves. They got Skylar Diggins-Smith, Nneka Ngumake, and of course, Jordan Horston's been elevated to the starting lineup. Seems like that team to me is a dark horse that only goes as far as people will allow Noelle Quinn to take them, because she comes under a lot of fire under social media for what reason I do not know, because I think she does a great job coaching that team. But at the same time, it feels like that Seattle team hasn't reached their full potential yet. I mean, yeah, they're the 4th seed right now, but it feels like they could go a little higher. What do you think?
You allow her to have this season to get her feet under her. Next season, now that she didn't play with NECA, she didn't play with Jordan Horston that came in. You see what a year after her rookie year, how she has stepped up and she's played. Ezzy is having a great year, right? So if you give that extra year, I think next year they could be a number 2 seed, right? But I think we have to remember that Skylar, she just come back up 2 years. Like, she's a major piece to that. You know, she's a major piece that took pressure off of Jewel. They're really learning how to play with one another. All of them have been number 1 options. And now you shifting them to be, you're either a 1A or you're 2 or you're the 3rd option. I might not even call no plays for you this time down the floor. Right? So I think they're learning how to mesh. So for even them to be in the 4th spot is great. And I think, like you said, Noelle, she gets a lot of slack on Twitter, which I don't get, because she coaches how she plays. She literally coaches how she played as a player. So, and I think what she has done gradually, right? We got to think about what first of all, her first year afterwards, she lost Stewie, she lost basically everybody. And literally had to rebuild. So for her to take a rebuild to get to here and have a free agent like Skylar to sign with her, to have NECA sign with the Storm, which nobody thought she was going to do, it's huge. It's huge. So, I mean, what she has done with that franchise, and I forgot who's the GM, what they have done, I mean, literally give that a next year. I really think next year they can be a 1 or 2 seed. We just need to get Skylar that this season under her belt. And I really believe like they'd be a top 2 seed next season.
All right, we've talked about the top 5. Now the bottom 6, 7, 8. Got the Mercury. We have the Indiana Fever. Have the Chicago Sky. In the case of Phoenix, I'm very interested to see how this works out with that new coach, because he literally got handed the job because, Matt Ishbia was his college roommate. I think that's how it went. I could be wrong, but I think they know each other fairly well. But getting Kalia Copper and Natasha Cloud obviously saved their prospects for the playoffs this year. But I really want to see if Diane Taurasi has anything left in the tank, as well as BG. What are your what do you think the Mercury ceiling is for this year?
Mr. Girl Dad. First of all, let me just say, he actually has done pretty much a good job. I would say that. I think they need to get a little bit younger. They need like a young person to come off the bench. I'm not sure if that's Charisma Osborne. I know they brought her back. They need a younger PG to come in and like give them like a boost off they need some bench scoring to me. They're a little top heavy. They need a little bench scoring. BG, I know she's not re-signed. If I'm not mistaken, she's on a 1 year. So that's something to watch as well. I think this is the first season at BG. She just needs to get healthy, right? She dealt with a broken toe. You know, I think she hurt her foot one of these games. So she's kind of been in and out. DT, this got to be the last season, baby. I love you. I love you. I've been watching her since UConn, and I respect it. But DT out there tackling folks just because they trying to get past her. You know what I mean? So it's, I love it. She gonna shoot that 3. If she's set up and her feet set, she's shooting that 3, right? But I think it's time to start building of where her position is. They need somebody young, her tutoring or mentoring somebody. They just need to get young, and they need some bench scoring. I'm not sure how they're moving out of that 6th spot. To me, I think they are going to be number 6. So whoever in that whoever gets 3rd, you in a dog fight. Because also, shout out to Kai. Kai is having an MVP season. And if nobody ain't talking about that, that's crazy. just because I know Asia is going crazy. And so,
Yeah.
so it's kind of hard. But Ka, if Asia wasn't going crazy, Ka for me would be leading MVP a lot of the times. Her or Fee. So I mean, literally, those are MVP type seasons, and I love Tosh being there. She just provides the defense and the dog that they need. I mean, I love how that team is put together. I just think they need to get and they need to like get a young PG in there off the bench. Like it's time because they're a little bit. Sometimes you can see that they start playing slow to keep DT in the game. So I think that's kind of also the thing too.
And now we move to the show, if you will, out there in Indianapolis with the Fever. People really hit the panic button because of that early schedule, but it seems like Clark has really settled in with she finally got some chemistry with Aaliyah Boston, who of course that was always going to be the big thing for them. But you see Alyssa Smith is coming along. It seems like Kelsey Mitchell has settled into a role, and not as many people are calling for Christy Saad's job. I mean, that could change with the first 3-game losing streak they have coming out of the break or something. But do you think this Fever team has enough to hold on for a playoff spot?
Oh, absolutely. They in there. They're gonna be 7 or 8. Them in Chicago are going to teeter-totter a little bit. Probably with the trade, I'll probably say people are locked in at 7 for sure. I mean, Caitlin just had a 19 assist game. I mean, she's having a solid rookie season. Triple-double, 19 assists. I think she's kind of found her groove. With my girl AB, she found her confidence. So I really, really love how she has came on. I think they're going to be solid. I believe that, though, for the Fever to take the next level next season, they do need a new coach. Just take the next level, right? I think Christy Sides did what she needed to do. I just don't think she's the coach that's going to get them from a 7 seed to a top 4 seed.
Right. And I saw that on Twitter, you had a great suggestion for who that should be. But unfortunately, she just took an assistant coach job with Mr. Reddick in Los Angeles. So
that ain't nothing. I believe Lindsay is a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, she got more resume and accolades as a coach than who she's working for. So to me, if I'm the Fever, if I'm the Golden State Valkyries, mm-hmm. I'm on her line and I'm offering her a bag. And a dark horse, if the Atlanta Dream wants her as well, I will be on her line giving her a bag about coming there. She's proven, she's a proven winner. She's a proven winner. So I would definitely be after Lindsay. She could do 1 year. It's not like she didn't have the years in the G League. He just brought her on there because she got more experience of player development. She's there for Bronny.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
So, but what I'm saying is I'm sure she would love to be a head coach. She can come do what Becky did with the Aces. She can come do what Spoon is doing with the Sky. If she gets a Fever, it's over.
Speaking of the Sky, I mean, we just talked about the trade that they made, Marie, and apparently that trade came by request from Marina Mabry. So the question is for the Sky now, can they hold on? Because looking at the bottom 4 of that league, we don't know if the Mystics are going to come out of it because Slim and Shakira have not played much at all this year. The Sparks have a problem in the head coaching spot. So did the Dream. And of course, Dallas has not played all year long. Of course, Satu is going to come back after the break. So what do you think Chicago's going to do now? I mean, obviously, the keys have been turned over to Kennedy and Angel and Camilla. What do you think this team has to do to hold on to that 8th seed?
Oh, man. You know what? I don't know. I know that trade came by request. I wonder if that would fix the chemistry part. You know what I mean? I know the other girls have chemistry. They hang out all the time. I wonder if that would just help them flow a lot better, right? I wonder if that helps Dana be consistent. it's just a lot of questions. To me, they're playing with house money anyways. For them to even be in the AC right now, halfway through, is like nobody saw them there. I know I didn't. I didn't see them there as an 8 spot. So I wonder what that Marina trade is going to do for that team. Do they come together even more? Where you do get minutes for like Dana, where she can absolutely just go off and score, because they're gonna need more scoring.
Yeah,
like you gotta make up that 20 plus points a game. Like you got to make that up. Like somebody got to do it. Or even if she's inconsistent and scoring 17, somebody got to make up that 17 to 20. So I wonder if that helps Dana come on a little bit. I don't know. I just wonder where this trade is going to take them. They either way they're playing with house money. Either way, those guards need to know how to pass to the post. They need to play from the post and out. They need to play through Angel and Camilla. It's just a must. Kennedy gonna do her thing. She's the only guard that know how to make a post pass, which is crazy to me to be on a team. And she's a damn shooting guard. Yeah. But I just really think that I wonder just where that trade is going to take them. Like I don't know what that missing piece looks like, and what is that fixing? Because I wonder if it was locker room chemistry issues. I don't know what that was, or why she requested, right? So I don't know. Either way, they playing with house money to me, this guy.
All right, we gonna go ahead and talk about this last four here. As we've said, on the outside looking in, the playoff picture right now is Los Angeles, Dallas, Washington, and Atlanta. And you and I have had many a conversation about the Atlanta Dream and their coaching situation. And what is it going to take? Why hasn't Renee Montgomery and them pulled the trigger yet? I mean, no disrespect. I mean, Tanisha Wright was a good assistant with the Aces. I mean, she had a long WNBA career as a player, but it just seems like she just does not like the team she coaches, and that can't be good for them.
Some people are made to be an assistant. Some people are head coaches. Tanisha is an assistant coach. She's absolutely an assistant coach. To me, also where she struggles is that she has this head coach, and it's like, it's what I say and what I do, and I've been a player before, and I've won before, and this type of thing. The players have absolutely, it looks like they stopped listening to her and stopped playing. Like they don't play for her. Like that's what, like Cheyenne should not be getting less minutes. She was an all-star last year. There's often times she benches her or don't run a play for her or anything, especially with Ryan being out. You should be playing through Cheyenne and Alicia. That's it. Like, and everybody else fill in. It's too much talent on the Dream where even if Ryan is out, don't get me wrong, because that's your superstar, then you still have too much talent for you to be outside the playoffs looking in and the games you've lost. I mean, oftentimes they out there don't even look like they even want to be on the floor, or they don't want to be in the huddle. Like it looks like they completely have tuned her out. I don't even know what practices look like.
Whew, Lord.
It's just, to me, I don't know what that front office is thinking about. Like, I don't know what Renee is thinking about. I don't know anything. But literally, you can watch and you can tell that team has completely just tuned her out. And I don't even know what her thing is against LA. Like, I have no idea. Like, you need more defense and athleticism, and you refuse to even give her consistent, whether it's 8 to 10 minutes. That's crazy part. It's insane to me. Yeah, it really is.
The crazy part to me is like whenever they ask her about it, she gets real nasty, and I'm like,
I just want to say she's very, 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 very unprofessional and nasty in post-game interviews. Just very.
How as a coach do you make it that far? I mean, yeah, there are coaches that hate the media. I mean, for crying out loud, we've seen Greg Popovich give one word answers during the sideline interviews, which I agree with him anyway, because those sideline interviews are crazy, and I don't know why the W and ESPN have conspired to have these coaches talk during the game, because it makes no sense, none. But when you get Tanisha Wright in these press conferences post game, she just has like a real mean spirit, and I don't get it. Like, if you're a coach, aren't you supposed to be like, if you're not lifting a player up, aren't you supposed to be diplomatic about it? It's like, oh, maybe I could do a little better job finding minutes for LA here or there. Or maybe she just doesn't fit into a scheme that we're running right now. Say some stuff like that, but don't just be saying, oh, well, I'm the coach. What I say goes, and it's like, okay.
I mean, but I even look at it, we notice it. But if you watch the players who's on the podium with her, how they react to her answers, like, they get a visceral reaction to it. Like, so I can just imagine, like I said, I wonder how practices are going. Because it looks like they have completely tuned her out. Or even in the post game, it looks like, this is just what she do. This is how she talks, which is crazy. But this is how, it's just like, it doesn't motivate the team. To me, they're not motivated. They just need a new breath of fresh air. And for me, yeah, Pop give those one word answers, but guess how many rings Pop got? How many players have he developed into Hall of Famers? She don't have that. I don't care what ring you won when you was a player. You have done nothing in your seat as Atlanta Dream. Okay, yeah, they went to the playoffs last year as the 6th seed, but look where you are now. And you got more talent this year. To me, to me, it's just Atlanta Dream is very much a disappointment. It's very much a disappointment to me as a team. And a lot of that is coming from leadership.
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess you could give, the only way I see her getting a pass is because Ryan's been out, and of course Jordan Canada's now not played a game together yet. So that might be the only thing that saves her job. But other than that, I do not see a reason for them to keep her around at all. I just don't.
Like I said, I don't see it. Even with those two out, yes. Are they two big pieces? Sure. But you still have enough talent on that team where the Chicago Sky should not be in front of you. Like, you still got Alicia Gray on that team.
Yeah.
Who give you buckets. You still got Cheyenne, your previous All-Star, who give you that. You got a future Hall of Famer, Tina Charles, in that center spot. Like, you still have enough talent where they should have kept you in the playoffs. Like I said, to me, it's not even just the record speaks for how the team is. Like, their body language when it comes to a huddle or she's running the play or anything, like, they just look like, I do not want to be here. I'm just here. What Marshawn say, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's what they look like most of the time. And I just, like I said, I think they need a breath of fresh air. She got you. Hey, congratulations. You got it to the playoffs here. But in order for us to take the next step or maximize Ryan's time there or Alicia Gray's time there, we need to go opposite way.
Yeah. I agree with you. So let's talk about the Sparks. We've talked about them as well, and how Kurt, it seems like now he doesn't have a choice because Cam is hurt, but it seems like Rakia Jackson is finally getting more of an opportunity to showcase why. What people aren't understanding is there should be a 3-way tie for Rookie of the Year right now. We'll talk about the awards in a second, but you've got Caitlin Clark, you've got Angel Reese, and then you have Rakia Jackson, who's probably arguably the most pro-ready player of the class of 2024, and Kurt Miller be pulling her because she blinked or something. Now that Cam Brink unfortunately is out for the season with an ACL injury, Rakia's been rocking and rolling. So, what do you think? What do you think about the Sparks? I mean, they have some talent as well, but it seems like this is probably going to be a year of them just finding themselves. It seems like
was coming in here. She was my early Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
And you could tell her game is too smooth. Everybody's just like, when she plays and she do that step back fade away, it's like, damn, that's smooth. Like, she's been doing that 20 years. Like,
Right.
that's smooth. He was playing her at the 4 to start the season. She's not a 4. Like, now that she's in the 3, where she should be a 2 or 3. That's it. And if that ball and action should be ran for her and Hamby, that's it. And go to work and everybody fit around there. Because when Cam come back, Cam gonna fit herself in there. Azrae, to me, she's awesome off the bench, right? I love how Ray Burrell came in. She's a great piece to keep up here. I don't know what his beef is with Zaya, but I believe that she's either gonna be traded or, she's gonna be somewhere else. I do think they need to find them a point guard. I love that Ari McDonald is having a solid season. She's just not a starting point guard to me. She's not a starting point guard. Shout out to my girl who went to Cal, Clarendon, she goes by they. Clarendon goes by they or them. They need to move on. Like, it's time for somebody else to be in there. So that could be Paige, right? Because they didn't have, WNBA with the draft. They take the last 2 seasons. That could be a Paige.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we don't know what that looks like. But for me, that's their thing. And Kurt needs to learn how to manage personnel because he does mismanage his personnel. I also think, even though she was signed, I think they do need to move on from Lexi. And I know that she's having some health issues, which prayers to her, and I hope that works out. But I don't think that she fits for your 3 pillars that you have. And it's about building around them and maximizing them. Because De'Erica Hamby is going to work, baby. And when she see the aces, she really going to work. She going for a 401k match at the full percentage. Okay, she going to work. But I just think those are 3. And they need to build around that. To me, keep Azrae, keep Ray. Those are great bench players to be off that. They need to find those guard spots. That's the ones that's gonna be crazy. So I wouldn't even mind it, to be honest.
That would be like I don't know what you'd call Rakia, Cam, and Paige. I don't want to call them the Rat Pack because that's number one, that's real a male associated thing. I don't want to call them the female Rat Pack, but you have 3 personalities that of that different talent, caliber, and aura that would make the Sparks, the box office team in the league, and I think that would be a lot of fun. But we'll just have to see how this second half shakes out.
I also think a little bit real quick with the Sparks, their front office got to get better in their ownership group. Y'all have won championships. You playing in a top tier city, and the way your practice facility is terrible. And them girls is playing at the Long Beach College. They got to get better. They got to get better as an ownership group. And I know, Matt, you need to do some magic. You need to start treating them girls like professionals. Like, to me, the way the Sparks is still bottom tier for facilities is crazy to me. Still. So that's also a partial thing. Maybe if they see what the Mercury just did and, how the Aces is doing their thing, Liberty, all them, it's time for the Sparks to come up. You can't be in LA and have piss poor practice facilities. I'm sorry. Not at this stage of the game.
Absolutely. And we're going to move on to the Dallas Wings, and then we'll talk about the Mystics real quick, and then we'll get into the awards and different things. But Dallas has just been snake bitten this year, it feels like. Satu's been out. Maddie Siegrist has been out. Taj Howard's been out for a few weeks. She just came back. So do the Wings have a chance, in your estimation, once Satu comes back, once Siegrist comes back, to maybe make that 7th, 8th race interesting, or is this just a lost season for them, you feel like?
They're going to be spending time trying to figure out how to play together. So I think you're going to see some inconsistency in the second half where they win. They may go on a winning streak, maybe like 3 games, 4 games, and then they're going to probably end up losing 2 because they're going to have to learn how to all play together, right? Now you're going to have to, because once Maddie comes back or when Satu comes back, okay, what does that look like for JC and when her minutes rotate? When does that look like for somebody else to come in? Or also the other girl, Jaylen Brown, right? When do you fit her in? When do you, like, Trisha's going to be sitting there doing a whole bunch of circling around and figuring out who fit with who again in the second half. I think they are going to have to do some soul searching in the second half to me because Dallas don't go nowhere without Satu. I love Arike. But Arike, I'm not building my franchise with a skill set like Arike's. And that's no shade to her. She's just an absolute scorer to me. That's it. And she needs to focus on scoring. And that's why they went to the playoffs last year because she was like more of a 1B option too. She could put the ball in the basket, but defensively, even though she's leading the league in steals, hey, love it. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting other people going, right? To me, Satu has more of an all-around skill, which I didn't know she was injured. I thought coming in, she would be also a dark horse for MVP. To me, it's like to see her come along with that, I just think that they need to start just building around that, right? And they still need a point guard. And if it's going to be Odyssey, please sign her because she really does help y'all out.
Thank you.
She does help you out. And she's the dog that you need right next to Arike and Satu. Sign her. Just sign her to a contract. Get rid of one of them who do got a guaranteed contract. I do think Howard, you might have to move on in the offseason. You can put somebody else in that position. Maybe it is Maddie. Maybe it is somebody, right? You need to be a little bit refreshed in some of these positions and really just do some soul searching in the offseason of who goes with who. Because you can't run it back with the same group and maybe just tab somebody in there. Like you need to solidify your team, and this is.
And now we go on last team in the league, fittingly, the Washington Mystics. They were in trouble when Tosh left, but then of course Slim gets hurt. Shakira's hip isn't healed all the way. Elaine is taking a year off. And I have my theories about Elaine taking a year off. My theory is she wanted to go to Vegas and Mike Tebow said no. So Mike Tebow, you're a hater. Just want to put that out there. But what do you think? Where do the Mystics go from here? Because it's obvious they're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, they were lucky. They're not going to finish with the worst record in WNBA history at this point. But where do you think the Mystics go from here?
First of all, that's the best last team in professional sports that I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. All right. I'll give them that.
They play hard every single night. You ain't got to question the effort. And some of them games they lost was super close. So can you imagine they probably would be fighting for the 8th seed or being the 8th seed if Slim and Shakira was still playing. So for me, I just think they need to get healthy because I love they have a culture on that team. That's the difference, right? That's the difference. Like they're just missing like some scoring, like from a guard spot. To me, that's where they missing like a consistent scorer from the guard spot type of thing. But that they have a culture on that team. You do not question their effort. Any game, they coming in and they playing. So I think like if they did have Shakira and Slim, I think we would be talking about them fighting for the 8th seed. EDD, hey. You know, I know she wants to get to Vegas. It ain't happening, mama, unless you come sign next year. But then you got to think about it. Aces is about to have Elizabeth Keatley come back, which is their rookie that they drafted. And they might not need EDD, right? So, and plus, the last time we seen you, baby, that back, That back was frozen like an otter pop, okay? And you was out there doing the MJ robot, baby, dancing, and I love her because she know how when EDD had it and when she was on, she was a mug at Delaware as well as in the professional league in the W. It's just think that she is getting over here, but she can help somebody like, I don't know, just some type of contender that she can come off the bench, right? Like I think she'd be solid if she wanted to come off the bench in Seattle next year. Like, what if she wants to come off the bench in Seattle just to give Eddie something, right? Like I think she can go to another. I'm not sure if it's Vegas per se, but I wouldn't be mad if she go to Seattle. If EDD say, hey, you know what? Let me go to Indiana. I don't have to do a score. I don't have to score like I did in Washington. Still, the focus is not on me. So I just think that looking at it a little bit different. I just don't think that I don't think that she is going to the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah. That's my Wilmington home girl. It's interesting because I'm right down the street here in Wilmington where her brother coaches the football team. I see her brother all the time. So, I mean, I can't go too hard on Elena, but she's had a nice run, but it might be about that time. It might be. I mean, and she's given the game so much. So I mean, no one can begrudge her if she decides not to come back. But if she does come back, yeah, she kind of needs a limited save her energy for the playoffs. So
yeah, anybody who signed her is like, hey, let me save you for the playoffs. You may play a little bit so we can get you some cardio each and every night, but we're signing you for the playoffs. That's why I think like some place like Seattle, where it takes them over the hump next season, that would solidify their bench or something. Actually, Seattle, I really do think that they should go after EDD.
that would be fun. All right, so let's talk about these awards. I think we're all in agreement who's MVP though. I mean, I don't think that's a question at this point.
First of all, can we just say, Asia, first of all, last year, she played amazing. And whoever that fourth place voter is, she got beef with you, but we definitely, who are Asia Wilson fans, definitely got beef with you, okay?
We know who it is.
I did not know that she can take it to another level. She has literally been lights out in everything. I even say as even a leader, she's been amazing. Like it's an honor to watch her play every single night. It really is an honor to witness her play basketball. And this season is no different. But I just did not think that she can raise her game to another level. I really didn't think that.
It's wild to think because now, her post up game was already immaculate. The mid range and the elbow. Now she's walked it out to the 3-point line. So now you can't just crowd her. That makes her even more dangerous. And if everybody else shows up, what can you do?
Other two who I think that is worthy of it is Ka and Fee. Like MVP wise, when we're talking about it. If that's a huge if they literally trying to consider other people to go against Asia, which, like I said, everybody's on the same page about it, it would be Fee and Ka to me that's having a stellar MVP season.
I agree with you on that. I mean, Ka's always been a favorite of mine. I mean, going back to when she was kind of like languishing in Washington, then they just moved her to Chicago and she went to another level, and Fee's always been great. So, but they're not Asia Wilson. But then again, who is?
Right.
On to the rookie of the year, and this is going to be the one where it's literally a two-person race. Like I said before, it could be a 3-team race if Kurt Miller would manage Rakia, right? But feels like it's Angel versus Caitlin. Who do you think has the inside track at this point?
Man, you know what? This is such a crazy debate, and I think it's closer than what people think. Because with the double streak and everything, I personally believe at the end of the season it's gonna go to Caitlin. That's no shade to how Angel has had. Angel gonna have to have like a 40-point game or something. Like she's gonna have to have something that's like crazy, like to build another stat line, right? Because I look at all these things like her plus minus and the double streak and everything. I love that as a rookie, and honestly, that's what makes it close to me, right there. So I don't think that it's out of the question. Like you said, it's a two-way race. I just think that Caitlin, 19 assists. That's a WNBA record. She had a triple double. You know what I mean? Here, we ain't even gonna talk about the hype that everybody's talking about when it coming into it, right? Yes, we know the turnovers is crazy and everything, but if the ball is always in her hand, that's gonna be something natural that's gonna happen. But we got to look at the other stuff as well. So everybody's going to factor that in. Her team right now is a little bit ahead in the thing. Those are things that's factor. I'm sorry to tell everybody, when there's a close race, you start looking literally at everything. You literally start, people look at everything to try to make themselves here. To me, it's a 1A, 1B situation, but I do believe, just based off of my experience, I do believe that at the end of the season, the Rookie of the Year award is more than likely probably going to go to Caitlin Clark, unless, like I said, Angel Reese in this second half, which she's had a stellar rookie season, unless she has like some 40-point games or something, or she like breaks a record or something like that. You know, I could see that happen. Like, or she has like a 2020 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could be something. Like, there's something else that she needs to keep adding to the resume. Also, like, if she gets a 2020 game, sorry to tell Caitlin, that means you probably gonna have to add something to your resume, because then that means she probably gonna squeak up. She, like,
Yeah.
that's how close, honestly, the race is. But I think right now, just a little bit of edge. Like, I mean, it ain't that much. I believe that Caitlin probably will, at the end of the season, the way it is right now, probably would slightly edge Angel out for the Rookie of the Year. And that's really no shade. And that's probably because she had the 19 assist game.
Yeah,
And that's
if she ends up having like a 20, if Caitlin has a 20 assist game, then yeah, we can cancel it. But Angels had a great rookie year. I mean, like you said, the Sky, no one had them anywhere near the 8th spot. And here they are. I mean, some of that could be attributed to the stuff that's going on with the other teams, but at the same time, Teaspoon's done a great job coaching that team as well. On to the Coach of the Year award. Who do you think gets that one?
To me, at this point, is between Reeves and Spoon. Somebody gonna try to fit size in there, and I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. I don't care. I think that is between Spoon and Reeves for sure, and I think that Cheryl might edge it out, but I think what Spoon has done with the Sky, like they had them, media had them at like last place or something, finishing something crazy, and they're in the 8th spot, but they play just like her. Like how she was as a player. They'll run through a brick wall for Spoon. So I really think because of that, she got them to the 8th. That was put there. So I just think that is between her and Cheryl. That's it.
All right, now DPOY, it gets kind of complicated because yes, Asia is dominating on the defensive end as well, but we got to talk about Dejanay Carrington, man. I mean, she literally has been she's been one of the few players that had just not, back down off of anybody this year. I mean, we know she's kind of like Caitlin's kryptonite at this point, but she does that to everybody, and it's just been interesting to watch her. She also probably has a case for most improved as well, I would think. So, who do you think is DPOY?
You know what? Even though voters got something against guards, which is crazy when it comes to defensive player of the year, I really do think Dejanay is top 2. She might not even be 2, but then Asia's also lights out again. So it could be a sweep by Asia at the same time. Also, another person, Ezzy. Ezzy is having a great defensive year. To me, I wouldn't be mad who it goes to. For me, my top 2 is Dejanay or Asia. If you ain't gonna give it to Asia, it needs to go to Dejanay right now for me. And then Ezzy is in the 3rd. But yeah, that one is pretty. It's just, do you want a guard to win it, or do you want the big person to win it? That's it.
Yeah,
Like there's no wrong answer in there. I just think the top two for that's leading it at this halfway mark is either Dejanay or it's either Asia.
And lastly, most improved, and then we'll talk about the winners. But who we think wins the championship at the end of the year? I know you guys have been waiting for that, but who do you think? Who do you think wins most improved? Do you think that's Dejanay's as well, or could it be somebody else?
Listen, Dejanay or Kennedy got to come away with an award. So if Dejanay don't win Defensive Player of the Year, give her most improved. if Dejanay end up winning Defensive Player of the Year, Kennedy need to go ahead and get most improved. I don't care what it is. One of them need to walk away with one of these awards. So that's how I look at it. If Dejanay wins Defensive Player of the Year, Kennedy get most improved. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even know nobody else in most improved. That's how I look at it. One of them, like how Denzel said, they leaving here with something. So one of them have to leave here with something. Okay. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. That's my point of view on that.
Yeah, and Kennedy, if she was still, if she didn't have to come in and start and save that team, she probably would be 6th player of the year. But I feel like, yeah, most improved is a strong award for her as well.
Yeah.
So here we are. First half is over. A lot of these players will be going over to Paris to play in the Olympics. I'm still blown about whatever country Tiffany Hayes is playing for, because that's a country I've never heard for a day in my life. I can't even pronounce it. We're not even going to try. But coming back from the Olympic break, it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. So as of today, this is probably going to go out either Friday or Saturday. So we'll say either July 19th or July 20th. Who does Mica have in the WNBA finals?
Well, I'm an Aces fan, so come on, man, get it together. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to go, I'm going to just pick the Aces just based off of my heart and my loyalty. But also I do think they can get it together in the second half. You can see there. Outside of that, I mean, the only other person they need to get one for New York. So it has to be Liberty. They either gonna do it or they ain't gonna do it. They either gonna do it or they're not gonna do it. So my heart and everybody, Aces, go get another one, baby. 3-peat. If not, I know that's so cliche to say because as an Aces, you're supposed to hate the Liberty. But I think Liberty, if you don't go do it this year, you're not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's my. I like the Aces to go ahead and pull it together, but the only way they're going to pull it together is they're going to. I don't think they. I mean, they could obviously catch either Connecticut or Seattle for that 3rd spot, but I honestly think that they are going to be a 4 seed and they're going to knock the Liberty off in the semifinals. So I have the Seattle Storm and the Las Vegas Aces in the WNBA finals, and I got the Aces winning it in 5.
Wow. So you got the Storm passing it, huh?
Yeah, I got the Storm beating Connecticut in the semifinals. I got the Aces beating Liberty in the semis, and then we'll have a West Coast WNBA finals, and I like the Aces to pull that out in 5. And that'll be the first time they celebrate on the home floor, which means Asia and Sitter are going to absolutely lose their minds. So that should be fun.
You know, that's one thing they've been talking about. Every time they ask them about championship, we never have celebrated in front of our fans. So part of me feels like they're okay with losing some of these games so they can just coast in that 4 or 5 spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really do believe that they are like coasting because they was like, oh, we never won a championship. Every single time somebody asks me, we never won a championship in front of our home crowd. We would love to do that. So, you know, you might be right about that.
I mean,
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I wouldn't either, because I mean, I would love to see the house go crazy and, you know, Sid doing some ridiculous stuff as she often does. But they definitely want to thank you for joining me for this show. Greatly appreciate it. If you want to tell people where they can find you on social media, if you want to be found. I mean, obviously, you know, not everybody wants people, you know, bugging them on Twitter or Instagram about, you know, basketball. But if people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
For sure. Find me is Miss Mica Love, literally Miss MS Mica. How my name is spelled on the screen is MICA, and then love is LUV. You can find me there on Twitter. You know, I do be cussing during games. Sorry about that. Anybody else there? So, but yeah, that's where you can find me for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this edition of the Chris Stevens Writes YouTube show. I want to thank Mica for joining me. Greatly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
And thank y'all for watching. Once again, if you're new to this channel, subscribe and tap the notification bell to be notified of all new content that drops on this channel. Contact information for myself will be in the description below. So thank y'all for watching. And until the next time we see each other on this screen, y'all be good or be good at it.